Howdy, this is the Psionic Cadet, and today we're going to talk about what psionic contact feels like, or sounds like, or looks like. We're gonna talk a bit about all the senses involved and how to kind of dial in what is the NHI, or what the other voice, the signal. Try not to label it too much, but this is it's about psionic contact. I really believe it's non-human intelligence. How do you separate that from just everyday, regular communications, or voices in your head, or whatever, right? Now, this is just my own experience. I am not an expert, but I know someone who is, and there's actually many people with more knowledge than I have. But this person in particular, Nicole VanDanEng, is one of the most gifted relayers of anomalous experience. It's so many times I've been watching a podcast or whatever, and it's like, yeah, but what does it feel like? What is it like? What is it real? What is when you get how do you know, right? That's the question everybody has, because that's the most important question. How do you know? Well, Nicole here she's done a ton of great work. I'm going to, let me bring up her main account here. Or is this it? Yeah. So this is her feed. This is her on Substack. The thing I like about Substack is that you can, like on your phone, you can open an article and there's a play button. So you can listen to it as if it was an audiobook. Best feature ever. Every other social media platform needs to do that. And so what I do is, a lot of times I'll pick up a Substack article from Nicole, and I will listen to it prior to meditation. It's like a way to get pumped up before doing a meditation, which sounds weird, but it helps. And it just so happens, like all of her articles, seem to have a synchronicity with something that is going on in my mind, or in my life as an experiencer. Now, I think I'm okay at saying, I had the most profound contact event. Okay, this is aside from the psionic contact. Okay, I had a physical contact event, the only one that I am physically aware of, and Nicole played a part in that. And that whole story, I can't wait to tell you. It's mind-blowing at how far out I was getting signals or communications about what was about to happen to me. And I think it's important, because sometimes we'll have anomalous experiences before, like, the big one, right? What we consider the big one. So hopefully my audio is not too blown out here. So yeah, I think Nicole is very gifted in her expression of what it's like to be in contact with the non-human intelligence. And just in general, what it's like to be an experiencer, because she's been an experiencer her whole life. I'm a newbie. Okay, I'm the noob. But it's amazing articles like this one. Love this play button. Everybody needed. I mean, this is the best feature ever, because I have ADHD and the alphabet soup of all that crap, and sometimes I find it hard to stay focused on the written word. I tend to get lost in my brain, and then I start to have to reread things over and over again, as probably most of you have had the same experience. So I love this play button, and just to just in the car, boop, play, and just listen to her. She's so clear in her expression of what it's like to be an experiencer, because she is a lifelong experiencer. So good stuff. Highly, if you are interested in anomalous contact, and if you had one Substack or one thing at all to subscribe to help you, it's Nicole. It's Nicole VanDanEng. Her stuff is amazing, and it is so clear and concise on the whole experiencer journey. So highly recommend her stuff. Can't recommend it enough. All right, so here we go. So I've made a few videos, and maybe if I figure out how to post them in YouTube, then I will put the little arrows or whatever. Whenever I figure out how to link the videos together, I will. But I've created other videos where I had an anomalous event, usually precluded by some type of communication. So, I get a communication from a NHI, usually suddenly and instantly and kind of violently. I get, hey, this is what you need to be doing right now. I go outside, I film the sky, or I perform an action, and then it connects with the real world. So most of them have been, okay, go outside, record the sky. I do. I see a giant craft in the clouds. I mean, massive. That's the video Cloudcraft. You can go check that out. And the one where I was told to go outside, I film the sky. I see an orb coming up from the south. Okay, and I'm like, well, okay, I guess that was it. Okay, I can't be picky. I go in my apartment, and they say, no, turn around right now and film. I do it, and then that same, well, I don't know if it's the same orange orb, comes out of the west, yeah, and starts doing a little dance in front of me, and I'm like trying to keep up with it as the camera's panning away. That one's called Air Show, I think. Anyway, go check them all out. I mean, you got some time. Right? I mean, just if you're in the car, throw it on. Actually, a lot of these require video, so don't do it in a car. You naughty people. Don't do that. Don't do that. But if you are at home and you're waiting for the dishes to dry before you put them away, if you're really procrastinating on scraping out that litter box, throw one of my videos on. Okay? It's just, it's easy. Just chuck it on there. Just press play. So, anyway, I was doing a morning meditation, and in that meditation, I started to see a craft appear, like a craft made out of light. I'll show you the notes from that meditation here. Okay. So yeah, it's just I put my intent at the top of the page. This one I was using a visualization technique that I found in a book called, I just so happen to have it right next to me, Remote Perceptions by Angela Thompson Smith. If you watch my video, Draw a Circle, you'll see where my original psionic contact event, not my physical contact event, two different things. My psionic contact event coincides with this book, Remote Perceptions by Angela Thompson Smith. So I was using a technique found in this book, okay, that I believe I was guided to, quote unquote, anomalously, psionically. Just there's more detail in the Draw a Circle video. But basically, I was using a technique that Angela used to contact with non-human intelligence. And I think a lot of this, what I'm starting to understand is, a lot of this does come down to just visualization techniques. being able to visualize things so intensely that they become real. And that's something that I've had my entire life. There's people that have what is it called? What is it called? The aphantasia, where you don't have mental images, right? I have super super high resolution images. I can smell, I can taste. Like if I really am in the mood and I think about a lemon, although I eat lemons by themselves, so it's the effect is kind of dulled off on me. But if I think of really intense sour things that I can remember really well, my mouth will water. I can smell, like if I'm visualizing a Granny Smith apple, the green one, I can smell it right now. I can taste it if I were to think about biting into it, and the whole sense of smell and everything that and taste that gets intertwined in your senses. I can go to that level, and I have such vivid internal images, video, live stream, that I will actually disassociate from reality and then start interacting with that world. It's usually dependent on emotions, high emotional state, good or bad. It doesn't really matter. If I'm in a high emotional state, let's say angry, I could start yelling at someone, yelling profanities in a parking lot. Okay, I could be that guy. On the other side of that, I could be in my living room, crying my eyes out because I'm witnessing something amazing and I'm not there. I am in my living room staring at a linoleum floor, or a faux hardwood sticker is what they pretty much are these days. I'm staring at that. Construction terminology, whatever the hell it is. I'm staring at that, crying my eyes out because I'm not looking at that floor. I am inside my head in this other world that I've created. Now, is that good or bad? Most of the time, it's not that great, because like when you're driving and you realize that you have not been paying attention at all, and that you've somehow made it to the doctor's office. You just drove 5 miles in heavy traffic and you have no idea how the hell you got there, but you remember everything from the experience that was going on in your head. That's kind of creepy. Okay. So yeah, I was using this technique. That whole thing, we could do a whole nother video on that, and I'm sure I will, because that's a big part of my life. So yeah, intent. I just write it down. Okay. And I even correct myself, and just in my contact, my intent was to request information, but it opened the interface of communication. I was visualizing a door with an NHI on the other side of it, and I kind of had to put form to it. I made it a gray, but it was basically my representation of a non-human intelligence, right? And so I did. And during that meditation, I saw a bright light appear, and it started to take shape right in my visual field, and it started to look like this. It says it was basically a light craft that looked like this. That's exactly what it was, right? So I was listening to the meditation came to an end. I was listening to oscillations using the Hemi-sync product. Let me see if I can bring it up here. All right, let's see here. Hemi-sync. And I'm going to go here, go to oscillations. Hopefully I can spell that right. Ah, right here, this one. Ooh, there's another one? Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that one out. Mainly because it's just so beautiful. I really like the sounds of it. Not because it Hemi-syncs harder than the other ones. It's just that the sounds that they play are beautiful. And so it's a guided meditation. And no, thank you. I'm already a member. Yeah, so not saying you need to have this, but this is what I was using. I was using the There's see here. There's a they call it here's it's called the open exercise. It's also called free flow. If you're familiar with the lingo of like Hemi-sync and the gateway tapes and all that other stuff, it is a free flow. So yeah, let me see if I can. No, I don't know. I might get copyrighted. I haven't got copyrighted yet, so hopefully I don't go down that road. All right. So anyway, right. So this Lightcraft, it kind of looked like this. It just had this, and it just pure light, right? And so I finished the meditation, and a voice says, "If you go outside now, you can see it." And what I noticed was that these communications are as if someone is talking to you directly in your face, like if they were nose to nose with you, from straight ahead, and they're talking to you in a clear voice. That's the best way I can describe it. If it's off to the right or if it's kind of up or down, I usually that's usually just my own inner monologue. And my own inner monologue, unfortunately, sounds like me. I don't have a voice for radio. I also don't have a face for TV. So what am I gonna do? That's just the way it is. I'm the everyman. I'm just an average Joe, but that's not my real name. So I was like, okay, if you go outside now, you can see it. So I go outside and I start recording as I do. Let me. Did I really close that down? Hang on a second here. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna turn off I don't need the volume here. So this is me doing like motions with my camera. There is some glare, so I'm making sure that there's no. I'm just showing that there's no lens flare or lens coma that can be attributed to what I'm looking at. Then I see this. Did you see that light? It just appeared. Not there, and then boom. I'm like, whoa, hello, what's going on here? I'm like, oh, could this be the Lightcraft? Well, let me zoom in. I'm like, okay. Let me do a better picture. So, what I'm seeing with my naked eye, and even on the screen, I would say, is different than what you're seeing right now. Because this is like full resolution. It's hard to explain, but let me bring up my other image here. So, while not exact, I'm like, okay, we have a center part that sticks up, and then we have like outer parts as well. And sure enough, we have a part that sticks up in the center, and then we have outer parts as well. I'm like, good enough for me. I mean, like, this is for all intents and purposes what I saw. Now, here's the catch. Okay, not all communications are going to result in anomalous activity. It can't. Imagine, I mean, otherwise you would have Clearwater, Florida, by Highway 19, like that would be the most anomalous piece of real estate in the world at this moment. Not really, of course, but you'd be hearing about these things happen all the time, but you don't. So it can communicate with you. Okay, NHI can communicate with you and show you things in your own life and not be anomalous. Okay? It's all about getting better at anomalous contact. It's not about, seeing cool orbs do light shows or giant craft up in the clouds. It can't always be like that. But this one, yeah, this is them training me. This is This is them saying, if you go outside now, you can see it. And technically I did. I went outside and I saw it. So, the fact that it ended up not being, as you can start to see now, the flashing lights, it was a plane. Okay? But the fact that I saw this in my meditation, and then I was told, if you go outside right now, you can see it, and then to have this thing, although not anomalous, happen right in front of me, yeah, that's good enough for me. That's training. That's them showing, okay, you heard the voice from this place in your mind, usually right directly in front of you. And that seems to be a common theme, I think, that's kind of like coming out now, is that they get face to face. It's so funny because I heard J2 talk about that, and Nicole in her in one of her articles, and then and it's like, yeah, that's exactly. And something else too that's weird that I haven't really mentioned. Whenever I hear the voice, whenever I get the instructions, I am compelled to do whatever it says, for good or bad. I don't know exactly like how good that is, but when I was for the first draw a circle event, I was compelled. As soon as I heard draw a circle, I slid off the edge of my couch onto my floor, which I never do, and I was on my knees drawing a circle on my coffee table. I've never done that. I tend to not kneel on floors. It's just I once got sepsis kneeling on a hotel carpet once. I'm not going to mention the chain. But yeah, I ended up getting staph. No, it's not sepsis. It was staph. I got staph on my knee. I had a giant whelp on my knee. I went to go watch a play in the park, and I couldn't even enjoy it because I had a staph knee. Hadn't even gone to the doctor yet. Thing was the size of a balloon, painful. All my friends looking at me weird, which is not really that different than any other day, but still, just roll with me here. So yeah, so it wasn't anomalous, and that's okay. Okay, this is about a 7 or 8 on the scale of confidence, one being not even worth talking about. Actually, I probably wouldn't even talk about a 5 or 6. So this is about a 7. Okay, could I have had a meditate? I could have just had a precognitive dream, but when something says to go outside right now, and you'll see it, and then I go outside right now, and within 45 seconds it appears, yeah, that's a W. And just a addition to this, I was exploring meditating with vibration. So somebody I think it was on Reddit, they said that if you that they were sitting on a vibration mat, quote unquote. It's one of those things that you stand on it. It's supposed to jiggle your fat away. Yeah, we wish. But they said they were having great experience with focus, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. I would really like to try that. Okay, and so all weekend long, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking like, should I? This was last weekend. Should I get what should I do? Should I should I get one of those vibration things? Do they make some other type of vibration device? Didn't matter, because I was in my apartment and I got a communication. It was like a bright flash, like a flash bulb went off in the room, and that usually means go outside. So I go outside. I start filming the sky. All right. And, um, I don't see anything. So I'm like, well, this is not, you know, it's broad daylight. What am I gonna see? Then I hear some noises, and I look off to my left, and right at that moment, there was somebody dropping off a chair, a black leather chair, but not just any chair, a fully functional, vibrating massage chair. So, just so happens, okay, this video is a twofer. Just so happens, the same weekend that I hear about this meditation technique and how vibration has helped someone achieve focus. Then I get this anomalous flash. I call it the anomalous flash because I don't get these flashes any other time. And it's this message saying just go outside. Just go outside. It's very basic. And I go out and I'm like looking up at the sky. I don't see nothing there. NHI, will you tell me what am I supposed to be looking at here? And so I look off to my left and there's somebody dropping off this beautiful. Can I zoom? Yeah, I don't care about any of that. I want to zoom in on it. Anyway, good enough. You can see what it is. It's a beautiful chair. Okay, I put that fleece thing on there for the kitties. All right, fully functional. And I did a meditation, and some wild stuff happened. And I have some symbols that I'm trying to that I got during the meditation. I even had to tell it to pause and then go get my notepad and then write these, and I had to start up again. And I had to, and then it said, the what I'm assuming is the non-human intelligence, the psionic contact, said, "Don't worry about it. I'll guide your hand." So I had a blindfold on, and I let it write for me, and it's pretty wild. What you'll see what I drew, and it's pretty wild considering I could not see what I was doing. Like I have lines coming down, and let me see. You know what? Let me see if I can give a sneak peek. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there we go. A little sneak peek. So, I drew these symbols. Now, this is the edited one where I kind of tuned it in, but this is essentially what I drew. Freehand, including these vertical lines with the boxes attached to the ends. Exactly like that. Completely blindfolded. Okay, completely blindfolded. So, if you guys know what these symbols mean, hey, maybe it's to be found out at a later event. But anyway, this is when I was in that meditation with the vibrating chair, this is what came out of it. It wanted some type of message to be output. Don't know what it is. Maybe somebody can tell me. But anyway, so where was I? Yep, it can't always be anomalous. I think that's just, if I wanted to TLDR it, can't always be anomalous, and that's okay. Okay, in your journey, okay, and I'm just on my first few steps of this journey. In this journey, I mean, you just need to learn how to communicate. Okay, I think that's the phase that I'm in. It's teaching me what is signal, what is noise, and sometimes that goes with a full week and a half of noise. Of just no. That's my own internal monologue. No. And then all of a sudden, bam, out of nowhere, I'll have contact and I'll be like, yes, that's what it feels like. Okay? And it's teaching us to differentiate between the two. That's the key. Then as we do, as we get more and more versed in that, we were able to start having more communication. Because what I'm doing right now isn't technically communication. I think Shane Frakes, I don't want to butcher his name, but Shane, a psionic asset or remote viewer, telepath. I don't know what he. You know what? I don't know what he calls himself. I should. You know what? I should look it up. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Shane. Hey, Science Bob. I love him. He was actually mentioned by name in my air show event. When I had the psionic contact, it told me specifically contact Science Bob. I tried to, but it's like my messages didn't get through because he didn't respond to anything that I posted referencing him. Like I even downloaded his flight tracker and got it up and running, and I had a few questions about it, but he didn't answer. So I'm like guessing there's some kind of algorithm going on where I don't exactly. I'm not sure, but yeah. And just while we're on it, man, all our hearts go out to Mr. Pope. He's just a cornerstone of the entire disclosure movement, and his contributions will far outlast his earthly presence. We'll say that, and it's a shame, But if you had to look at it in a positive light, it would be, hey, he gets to find out that cosmic secret before we do. And I hope it's every bit as beautiful and profound as I think it will be. All right. Yeah. So Shane Frakes. Really like his stuff. He kind of pointed out that a lot of the claims of psionic contact were not communication. He pointed out that you're receiving a transmission, but it is not a two-way communication. Because if I receive communication and then I go outside and there's an orb, that's not two-way communication. That's one-way communication with a tack on an anomalous event, right? So, and I think it's clear. I think it's good that he says these things because it's about. We have to establish nomenclature, right? And there's another person. Let's see here. Let me hop over to Amazon because that's where I live. And let me go into J2. Let's see here. J2 books. J2 book. Scion. There we go. So, I don't want to. Here, I'm just going to take a screenshot. This is called J2's Psionicology, establishing psionics as a scientific discipline. So, a lexicon and experimental framework development. So, in that book, there's lots of nomenclature, definitions of stuff that I'd never even heard of. I was just like, I want to be a psionic. Okay, simple. I just want to do psionic things, whatever the heck that is, and I just think it's cool. I want my whole job to be in a lawn chair with a blindfold on. That's my heaven. That's my little slice of heaven right there. A job where I can sit in a lawn chair with a blindfold on. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. And I was not drawn to the laziness aspect of it, but it's ultra cool. So, anyway, I like his stuff. Shane says all the things. He says all the things, man. He says stuff that will probably be shown to be true even after disclosure, after 10 years of disclosure. We'll probably go back to some of the stuff he says because he just don't care. He just says it. And if what he's saying is true, there's profound things going on, and just the depth at which the phenomenon is enrooted into intelligence communities and everywhere else. So, yeah, good stuff. So I think I've said my piece, and I'm gonna wrap it up with again giving props to someone that's really been there for me. Um, behind in front of and behind the scenes. Um, so thank you, Nicole, and I'm just gonna dedicate this video to you, and so that's it, folks. Psionic Cadet signing out.